It's no insurance. You pay upfront cash all over the world. Okay. Yeah. Can I still on? Good evening, everybody. Wendy?
Good evening, everyone. I hereby announce that pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the notice which was sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and posted on the bulletin board in Township Hall, and filed in the Township Clerk's office on January 5th, 2022. Mayor Bontempo?
Here.
Mr. Santana?
Here.
Mr. Impreviduto? Mr. Lucarelli? Here. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. And everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence to honor our troops both home and abroad who work tirelessly to protect us each and every day. Thank you. So, good evening. We have special proclamations this evening I'd like to start the meeting off with. First one I'd like to read into the records for Elena. Elena Patel is a member of Troop 61384 of the Girl Scouts of New Jersey, the Jersey Shore. Whereas the mission of the Girl Scouting is to build girls of courage, confidence, character, who make the world a better place. And whereas Girl Scouting provides girls with opportunities for fun and friendship while fostering the development of leadership skills and self-esteem. And whereas the highest achievement within the Girl Scouts is the Gold Award, and only 6% of eligible Girl Scouts successfully achieve it. And whereas the Girl Scout tasks senior and ambassador scouts to tackle issues near and dear to them and will achieve lasting change in the communities and beyond. Whereas Elena Patel has achieved the honor of Gold Award by addressing the issue of healthy eating for teens. Whereas Elena educated her peers on how to make better decisions regarding their health by sharing healthy recipes, nutritional information, and facts about the benefits of healthy eating, while providing them with ideas and making the process easier. Now, therefore, on behalf of the Holmdel Township, I, Gregory Bontempo, Mayor Holmdel Township, do hereby proclaim sincere congratulations be given to Elena Patel on her outstanding achievement in earning the Gold Award. Be it further proclaimed that we wish Elena continued success in all her future endeavors. With confidence, she shall serve as a role model for other Girl Scouts who will continue to make important contributions to society. Elena, will you please come up? Guys, you want to come up?
Have a tremendous amount of successful Girl Scouts throughout the county. So I've been lucky enough on behalf of Senator O'Scanlan and Assemblyman Jerry Schaffenberger to go around and meet with all of our Girl Scouts, or all of our Gold Star Girl Scouts in Monmouth County. And Elena, you're doing a great job, and you really hit the mark with everything that we're talking about down in Trenton. You know, we are really worried about you kids coming out of the pandemic, and you hit a topic that is a real big issue. So I think what she's demonstrated, which so many other Girl Scout, Gold Stars, and just Girl Scouts in general have demonstrated, is that they're going to be the future leaders of our country. And I take this opportunity, if you allow, I mean, it's really interesting, the statistics of the success that Girl Scouts have. In 2021, The data that was collected demonstrated that 56% of women in the 117th Congress are Girl Scout alums. 71% of current female senators are Girl Scout alums. 53% of current female delegates and representatives in the House of Representatives are Girl Scout alums. 5 out of the 9 current female governors are Girl Scout alums. And this is a good one. Every female secretary in the United States was a Girl Scout alum. That included Madeleine Albright, Condoleezza Rice, she was my favorite, and Hillary Clinton. So I was a Girl Scout alum. I didn't get a gold star, but I used to get the award for selling the most cookies. That was my claim to fame for years, and I was the president. And I am in the state legislature right now, and I know there's a lot of us who were Girl Scout alums in the legislature. So we hope that you will be maybe District 13's assemblywoman someday in the future, because you are now prepared to do so. So congratulations, and we wish you a wonderful summer, okay?
Thank you so much. Just because Alina wasn't able to come to the Gold Award ceremony where we celebrate all of our girls, I'd like to give her her recognition and her honors now. So thank you so much. And then because the Gold Award is one of the most prestigious awards in the world, she has proclamations, resolutions from the mayor, the senator, the White House. So go ahead. Go
Wow,
ahead.
congratulations.
And thank you so much for your support.
Thank
Letting
you.
her come.
Oh, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. So for the second proclamation this evening, I'd like to read into the record, proclamation from the Holmdel Township Committee. Whereas Akash Kalu is a resident of Holmdel Township, has been a student of Holmdel Public School District since the first grade. Whereas Akash graduated from from the William R. Satz School and will be moving to Biotech High School this fall. Whereas Akash is interested in studying geography since he was 3 years old. And whereas Akash has been an active member of the Homedale community, as a member of the Homedale Hurricane Swim Team, the Satz School Cross Country Team, the Boy Scouts, and is currently working on his Eagle Scout project. So, you're a pretty busy guy, I could say. Whereas in June of this year, Akash won the National Geography Bee in Orlando, Florida, which is amazing. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Mayor and Township Committee of the Township of Holmdel on this 12th day of June, 2022, that congratulations be extended to Akash Kalu, both personally and officially, on behalf of the residents and community for his outstanding achievement. Be it further resolved that suitably engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to him, a small token of the esteem in which he is held. Be further resolved that all best wishes are extended to Akash for continued success in all his future endeavors. Akash, please come up and get presented for this proclamation. I'll come with you.
Oh, you should bring it up?
Why don't you bring the trophy up here? Bring the trophy up. That's really cool. I was going to have some quizzes for you, but I figured there's nothing that you weren't going to be able to answer. Right? What was the hardest one you got?
The hardest one, well, let me think.
They're all too easy.
For me, they're all a bit hard.
Then a shizzy.
For me, they're all pretty easy.
I know. For me, they're all a bit hard. Sure, want me to do the minutes first? Yeah. So, first item on the agenda is approval of minutes, May 24th, 2022, executive and public, correct, Wendy? And then June 14th, public?
That's correct.
Cool, do I have a motion?
Move. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay, the minutes have been successfully passed. Thank you.
Before public comment on the agenda items, I think our attorney needs to make a couple amendments to tonight's consent agenda.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just following our executive session tonight, we just have a couple of proposed revisions to the consent agenda that I'll read out and then ask the committee to take a vote just to amend the agenda to include these items. The actual approving vote will be after public comment. The first is on Resolution 2022-199, which is the resolution approving promotions in the Holmdel Township Police Department. We want to identify the officers for the promotions to captain. It would be Ackerson and Piggott. Lieutenants would be Hughes, Imperato, and Bernard. And the sergeants would be Sigismondi, Mikowski, and D'Arcy. These promotions would be effective July 16th of this month. We would also be adding to the agenda 2 resolutions. The first is a resolution approving execution of mortgage discharge from home improvement program for 105 Lexington Court. And then Resolution 2022-201 would be a resolution approving entry into mutual agreement and release with Planning Board Secretary.
You know, motion, Mike, for that?
Yes, please.
Move. Second.
Randy?
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
All the amendments have been approved.
Okay, so now I'll take any public comment on tonight's agenda items. Any public comment on agenda items? Come on, yes.
Jenny Blumenthal, 41 Stony Brook Road. Could you please give me the particulars on the consent agenda item 201?
That was just,
The title says that it's a mutual agreement or release with the Planning Board Secretary. It was discussed in executive session. The terms of the resolution will be available when the resolution's drafted tomorrow, and any potential agreement that's entered into thereafter, if you want to open it, we'll review what can be produced.
But you are going to not let us know what this consent agenda item is before you vote on it?
I think I just did.
Well, you said I could find out tomorrow, but it seems to me all these other agenda items, I could look up on the computer if I had one in my hand right this minute, and it would tell me,
silly.
you know, the policemen who were
okay,
being...
okay, I got it. Good.
It's an agreement and release resolving certain employment claims upon terms that need to be drafted into a mutual agreement and release. The committee's approving entry into that document, subject to its final approval by my office. It's being prepared by Labor Council.
Anything else on tonight's consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. I have a motion for consent agenda items 2022-184 through 2022-201.
Move.
Motion. Second, do I have a second?
I don't see it on here. What am I missing?
The ones he added from executive session, yes. Yes. So
How
it
did
was-
she
it
know
was-
about it if it wasn't on
He
here?
read in the title.
Oh, that's how you got it. Very nice. Smart. No, I'm looking at here. I don't remember the numbers when we discussed it upstairs. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli? Yes. Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay, so resolutions 2022-184 to 2022-201 have been successfully passed.
Thank you, Wendy. Next is introduction of ordinances, Wendy.
Next is the introduction of ordinance 2022-24, which is an ordinance amending fines pursuant to section 4-1 titled Alarm Systems. The motion is to adopt on first reading, publish in the Asbury Park Press, and set the public hearing for August 9th, 2022.
Do I have a motion?
Move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
I had a question or amendment to
Okay.
suggest. So right now, the way the ordinance is worded, it requires someone who is in violation. The violation is defined as a fifth false alarm in the house, to pay a $50 fine from then on for each occurrence and not show up in court. And this is within a 12-month period. So I think it's too lenient. If somebody has 5 false alarms in the house, it costs the township considerable money to send a cop to the house to make sure there's nothing wrong. And as such, I'd like to propose that the fine be escalated after the 5th offense, which is what I would recommend, $250 per incident after the fifth false alarm incident.
If I could just clarify, Deputy Mayor, right now the fine structure has up to $500 for the 3rd and up to $750 for the 4th. The main reason why the township is looking to make those fixed amounts is because some of these fines are being written and people are coming to court and they're willing to pay their fine, but because the fine isn't set and it's an up to amount, they have to basically wait for the judge to set the amount. So the goal is to keep our court running efficiently, and based upon the recommendation of the prosecutor and of the chief of police is to basically specify a specific amount. I know these amounts were, drafted in the draft ordinance. You guys are the policymakers. You certainly have the ability to increase the fines if you don't think they're sufficient to deter the behavior in question. As you know, the 1st and 2nd are warnings, and I think the reason that's always been the case is because sometimes people's alarms go off for reasons beyond their control, or they don't know they went off.
We agree.
So, it's totally up to the committee's discretion, but just to clarify, right now, the 3rd is 50, the 4th is 100, and the 5th and any subsequent keeps going up by $50 increments the way it's currently drafted.
And I think that the challenge was that having to come to court and to sit there and then get a $50 fine, because it's up to the amount. So what we could do is the one that's there we weren't happy with, so we could let this one kind of ride for a little while, and then we could potentially come back and adjust it if the chief feels that it's not fixing the problem he's trying to resolve. If that makes sense?
I mean, that definitely makes sense. My only concern was it costs us more to send a cop each time an incident happens. And it's a false alarm in the same house, and it's the 5th time, and somebody should get wind of the fact that at least they should be aware of the fact that their alarm system's not working in some fashion, and fix it.
Yeah, part of the problem was that the police need to have a record of every alarm out there, and people weren't registering their alarms. So this is really forcing them to register, and it's helping the police keep an accurate database so they know what's out there, because before it was very challenging for them. So this is putting some guys around them, and I think the police are okay with this. I understand you're trying to protect the police, which is a good thing, but I think if we give this a little time to kind of
It's fine.
work through, I think we can probably,
Yeah.
go and then reassess if we need to. Want to do roll call?
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 2022-24 will be set for public hearing for August 9th, 2022.
Next is hearing, Wendy.
Next is hearing on ordinance 2022-23, which is a bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $475,000 for improvements to Takalusa Drive in and by the Township of Homedale in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $183,500 bonds or notes of the township for financing part of the appropriation.
Public comment on 2022-23 on the bond ordinance. Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Improvisato?
Yes.
Mr. Lucarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Santana?
Yes.
Mayor Bontempo?
Yes.
2022-23 has been successfully passed and will be published in the Asbury Park Press according to law.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
We'll go with department updates. I'll do dual role administrator and CFO.
Thank you, Mayor. A lot of people have been calling about their tax bills and the pilot payments. Due to some delays on the state end, the bills will be delayed. The payment date officially is August 1st, but we're going to extend a grace period out to August 26th. So you don't have to worry about getting it in by the 10th. You got to August 26th to make those payments. Today we received some bids for the pole barn addition. We anticipated them to come in at $500,000, and surprisingly they came in 20% less at $397,380, which is the first good news we've had all year with capital projects. Also, we're looking at each summer we go out for temporary financing. The interest rates has taken a major jump over the last couple weeks, as everybody knows. After doing some review, we're going to have to think out of the box, and I think we're going to be borrowing from ourselves. So for this year, we're going to borrow from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which we're allowed to do, and invest into our capital projects. We will return the interest to the Affordable Housing Fund, and that is permitted by statute.
Excellent. Good idea.
That's all my reports tonight.
Thank you. Counselor?
Good evening, Mayor. I don't have any specific report, but happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Engineer Ben?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple quick things. You already approved the award of a contract for the improvements to Takalusa Drive. That was on the consent agenda. That's using a 2022 DOT grant. And the prices came in good, below our engineer's estimate, so we're happy about that. We are working on the Tabs Bikeway project, Phase 1. We're nearly done with the field work. I have a meeting set up with Bill and some other staff members to review the layout of that. So that'll be coming up soon. And Homedale Road and Newman Springs Road crosswalk upgrades. We prepared plans, submitted them to the county. The county provided some minor comments. We've already addressed them and resubmitted, so we're expecting to get that into construction soon.
And, is that it, Ben?
And that's it, yes.
And paving on schedule? We're moving on. Okay. Ben, do not comment on paving.
I will leave that alone.
Thank you, Ben. Committeeman Perdue, any updates?
Yeah, from community development, the soil disturbance ordinance is being finalized. We're continuing our revisions on the new minor development soil disturbance ordinance. The new ordinance will require any soil disturbance greater than 75 square feet would require the involvement of the township engineer and the establishment of an escrow account. The proposed ordinance would address the numerous problems that are developing with water runoff on neighboring properties due to poor or improper grading or a lack of water containment. Fire prevention inspection ordinance. We're drafting a new ordinance in community development proposed to address special or extended inspections for fire prevention. Currently, fire prevention has been conducting these inspections primarily at Bell Works, which requires the inspector or inspectors to remain at the inspection site for many hours. These events include special events, weddings, fireworks, filming, etc. But there is currently no fee to cover the cost of those extended inspections. So we're looking to remedy that. And then collection of data on backflows in the township. The community development has recently instituted a program to gather all information on the backflows in the municipality and enter such data into our system. That's it.
Thank you. Committeeman Lucarelli.
Thank you, Mayor. So we'll start with the road paving. As a lot of the residents have seen, this has started. We're in the process of milling and paving. We've already begun on Mayfair, Crescent, Merry Mill, and Wedgewood Lane. All affected residents will receive the flyer so that they know when their street or block was affected. The splash park at Cross Farm has been repaired and is up and running. Trail repairs have been completed at Bayonet Farm. And if a lot of residents have seen, the high school has recently repaved all of their parking areas and the William Marsat School. And the township had worked with the Board of Education in a shared service agreement to help them save some money. So I want to thank Bill and all your staff. I'm sure that was your doing, or at least helping them with that. And that was all completed, I think, this last week, and then the Board of Education will be reimbursing the township for all the materials. But it's nice to see that, we can work together and save some money for the Board of Education there. That's all I have.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. So the first one is on the Homedale Police Department update. On DWI checkpoint on Saturday, July 9th, we had a DWI checkpoint set up at the Dearborn Market. This was the first time we've had an actual checkpoint in the town since the beginning of the pandemic. Patrolman Matt Minoski rolled out a new program this time where each time we do a DWI checkpoint, we dedicate it to a person who was killed by a drunk driver. And this was assisted by Mothers Against Drunk Driver. And this year, we had, they had created posters of John Jack Misdom, who was killed by a drunk driver on February 7th, 1992 on Highway 36 in Middletown. Jack's brother was also at the checkpoint on Saturday night and did an interview with News 12. The National Night Out event, the police department will be having a National Night Out again this year. The date is August 2nd, 2022, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The department is still in the planning stages. More info will follow shortly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I have a couple updates. We've been advertising pretty heavily the General Tillelly Road dedication ceremony. Reminder that this Thursday, July 14th, Holmdel Township will be dedicating a section of Crawford's Corner Road in honor of General John H. Tillelly Jr., who grew up right here in Homedale. General Tillelly served as Vice Chief of Staff of the United States Army, which is part of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Commanding General of the United States Army Armed Forces Command, and Commander-in-Chief of United Nations Command. After his retirement, he serves as President of the USO United Services Organization. The dedication ceremony will be held on Thursday, July 14th again, 11 a.m., right here at the new firehouse right next to the post office. Members of the general public are welcome and encouraged to attend. Homedale veterans are invited to attend our first Veterans Roundtable featuring General Tillelly immediately prior to dedication ceremony. Veterans who want to attend the roundtable discussion should contact Administration Office Department. Barbara Kowaleski would be the point person for that, and she can provide information. We've had, she's had a good response so far. Dog closure and repairs. Due to continued repairs and supply delays, the Alexander Ching Dog Park at Bayonet Farms will be closed from July 12th through July 18th. Stay tuned to the Homedale website and social media for additional information. And last, I'd like to just acknowledge and congratulate the Homedale police officers that the Township Committee formally approved their promotions this evening. We have great police officers in town, and I'm very happy to see these promotions in effect and taking place July 16th per my administrator. So thank you for that, Bill. That is all for my updates. I will open up for any public comments. Public comment section, Wendy.
Okay. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, this is a public comment period for public comment on any governmental issue of public concern. In accordance with Resolution 2022-17, public commenters are asked to raise their hand and wait to be recognized by the mayor before coming forward and making public comments. Commenters are asked to state their full name and address before commenting. Public commenters are limited to one comment, not to exceed 3 minutes. Comments should be directed to the mayor and township committee. If appropriate, the mayor may direct and recognize a staff employee or a professional to respond to comments either at this meeting or in writing after this meeting.
Thank you. And anybody public comment? Yes, miss. Yeah, come on. Yes, sir. Yeah, come on. Yeah, yep. That's fine. That's fine. Absolutely.
Lance Loopy Line Road.
Did you get that, Wendy? Okay, thank you.
First, disappointed that last month, or the last township committee meeting was canceled, giving us less time for this. Unsurprised by who the missing members were, but my opinion. In regards to our upcoming vote on July the 26th, as I previously stated at our last meeting, I'm not saying there's no change necessary, but I would say this final 63-page report, of which this is actually 34 pages, where there was actually some content there, is pretty pathetic in my opinion. I would ask those who are concerned about this themselves, why July 26th, especially when the commission's findings talked about November being the best time for turnout, but yet we're wedging this in July 26th in the summer. Other comments. This is all non sequitur. So 165-year government, we spent 95 calendar days on meetings for this, of which on one website, 23 were scheduled, 7 were canceled. On another website, 16 were scheduled, 3 were canceled. None of the canceled meetings matched, so I'm really confused. The 04 master plan, 230 pages. The 2010 reevaluation of the master plan, 225 pages. The 2020 reevaluation, 38 pages. Got me thinking, were any of the same people involved? Looks like it was. Our mayor, our deputy mayor, and our deputy mayor was then township committee, and one of our former committee members, and one of the commission members were on the planning board. I hope people realize that if we don't like this, if this passes and we don't like this, there's no turning back. This is it. You're done. And I want to ask everyone up there and everyone on the commission, if anyone's here, if they can go home, look themselves in the mirror, and based on what I just showed you was what the effort that was put forth, if they can look themselves in the mirror and said, we did a great job. Tom Brady, fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns down, we put our best effort forth. I don't think so. During one of the interviews, the mayor stated that how great things were going this year on the township committee. So was that not true? Why is there such a push for change if things are going so well? There's so many unanswered questions in this minuscule document. And as a former project manager, I can tell you that the devil's in the details. And after speaking to one of the commission members left the last meeting, he said, don't worry, it'll work itself out. It'll work itself out? That's what we want to do for our government? Did our founding fathers in the Declaration of Independence say, well, we'll figure it out later? Don't we owe it to ourselves, the members on the dais up there, don't we owe it to ourselves to do what's best for Homedale and what may be best?
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Yes.
Chris Damari, Seven Oaks. Mayor Bontempo, it's clear that you aspire to be mayor of Homedale for a very long time. Your term's up next year. You've been on the township committee over a decade with the Republican Party, no longer having their support. So we know where your motive is. It's clear. You even filed with the NJ-elect on October 2021 some sort of candidate committee redesignated office form, council primary, indicating that you knew before the charge study even passed. You call yourself a Republican, yet you conspired with progressives to push their playbook of flipping our conservative district through nonpartisan elections. Were you aware that Chairman Kindry has these strong relationships up and down the Democrat ladder, specifically with an Asbury Park chair of the Democrat committee who funded his political action committee to flip our district? Did you guys know that? You call yourselves Republicans too. Did you know that?
Speak to the dais, please.
A relationship with Senator Vin Gopal, lately being appointed by Governor Murphy. We've uncovered a whole network behind this with representatives of many different municipalities that are conspiring to push radical change in New Jersey through these charge studies. They caught Homedale sleeping. You told us that they were going to do what is best for Homedale and not put political agendas first. This whole thing is a political agenda. And there has been no transparency. You gave the keys to Mr. G, and then you made sure no Homedale residents got in your way. This is not a very Republican thing to do in a primarily conservative township. Did you disclose to your Republican base of voters, the ones that have the vote yes signs, that you made a deal with this network that's looking to radically change Homedale? Or did you just tell them directly elect the mayor? You don't even tell them 4 years on the campaign. You should tell them that these structures, mayors have tenures of over 10 years and become very difficult to remove, typically developing stronghold in their municipality. Would this be what they want or what you want? Since February, when you first met me, I'd encourage you to directly communicate to Homedale residents what's transpired. That's almost 5 or 6 months. Outside of a vote yes flyer, you never did. Homedale residents are confused and do not fully understand the chaos that will transpire if this passes. You own this. You are responsible. If this is such a great idea, why haven't you been communicating directly to the residents from the start? You misled Homedale voters. You've been deceitful and not transparent. Your commissioners disrespected our amazing township of Homedale by looking at other municipalities as models. You support their extremely unpopular and unproven structure of a local government used by less than 1% of New Jersey municipalities. You supported the summer election for a low voter turnout, and then you tell residents your new structure will provide power to the voters. This is not a sign of leadership and does not look good. We providing Homedale with data and facts, and your Vote Yes team is shouting misinformation, fear-mongering, calling us a liar. We are concerned. We're very fearful of what could happen. Where is the misinformation? This is an awful proposition put forth by the commissioners, and you are supporting this. I encourage all Homedale residents to reject their agenda and vote no to changing Homedale. We cannot encourage our children and future officials to act in these deceitful ways. Homedale residents, your vote will matter. Their base has been waiting years for this. We must get everybody out to vote. Homedale is, in case people don't know, one of the best-run towns in New Jersey and has been operating well since 1857.
Your time is up.
Homedale is the model.
Your time
Don't
is
change
up.
Homedale. Vote no July 26th.
Anybody else in the public? Yes, Miss.
Theano Kolovos, A Canyon Woods Court. I just want to first say how incredibly disappointed I am in you, Mayor, especially. The divide in our town is so apparent. And who's Tom Scarano? And why is he meddling in our politics? Can you answer that for me, please?
Make your public comment. It's not a question and answer period.
It doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. And you sit up there and smirk at me, at anyone else who has to speak. What is it? I mean, what is your point? You sit up there because you're conspiring with others to flip our government so that you guys can have another decade to play politics. Because that's what it's about. It's about politics. This isn't about the people. It's about you guys fulfilling your political dreams and moving your way up. Because Kinji's doing it, right, with Vin Goppel. Okay? I mean, he's hanging out with the governor now. I mean, why do we have to change the game because certain people can't win politics? Why don't we just change the players of the game and make it fair? My 5-year-old called it cheating when they changed the rules of the game because you can't win. I'm sorry, do you not get that?
Anybody else from the public? Yes, in the back.
Karen Strickland, 26 Hayward Hills Drive. Thank you for sitting there so patiently. I actually do have some questions. What was the pole barn addition?
I think if you could ask your question.
Just, you know,
Pole
miss any
barn
time.
addition
Yep.
and a compliment to the community relations for the good work. You guys are all over the place. What is backflow?
You could hold the mic if you want.
So I had two questions listening. I haven't been to a meeting for a while and things are happening. So
Pole
I
barn?
want to know what the pole barn addition is, and I want to compliment the community relations on their good work, but I want to understand what backflows are.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want to touch on that?
Yeah, the pole barn is next door. We store equipment for public works. We're running out of room. We do not want to leave equipment outside because, you know, it's sitting in the weather. It's just more protection for the equipment so that it lasts longer period of time.
And Ben, you want to touch on real quick?
Sure. Well, I assume we're talking about a water system or some sort of utility system. Backflow is when water or gas or anything will kind of back up basically into the main distribution line. There are backflow preventers that you have attached to, for example, a water meter, so that water doesn't back up into the system, get kind of sucked back in and contaminate the rest of the water for the rest of the service area.
So
And we use
Karen,
it-
in layman's terms, the water goes in the reverse direction it should be going. That, well, no, we're actually collecting data to understand where they all are and make sure we have a good sort make sure we have a good database of the understanding of where they are and if there's issues.
Anybody else from the public? Yes, sir.
Jay Yanello, 18 Ladwood Drive. I love being lectured by my fellow resident on I'm not a real Republican. How the hell does he know what kind of Republican I am? I love how he chastised the yes people for using Save Homedale Village when his organization, Save Homedale signs when his organization took Save Homedale Village and then laughably claimed he's never heard of it. I love how he calls people deceitful when his organization clearly went after the Democratic vote with blue signs. I mean, it's laughable. Laughable.
Guys,
Of
please,
course, that's
please.
your answer.
Please don't talk.
I
Don't
love
talk.
how the No's, which he's well part of, sent out very expensive flyers without the legally required disclaimers of who's paying for them. I love how their big banner says, Homedale's been operating great. We've been operating wonderfully, when there's been scandal after scandal after scandal. I love how he breathes deeply in the back with frustration when he doesn't like what he hears. How dare he tell who a Republican is a Republican? And by the way, Mayor Bontempo, they accused you of not being Republican, then followed up with a flyer saying you're a Republican. They don't even know what they're saying, and now, laughably to many, they're changing their banners for the third time because they're running like scrambled eggs. Someone called their leader a man-child today online. Maybe it's appropriate. Someone behind the scenes is having fits and spats because they want to continue to control what's going on in Homedale. Whether it's a yes or no, I don't think I really care. But the games being played by the people that, how dare they question who's a Republican or not and call people deceitful, are disgusting. And the way they've mentally impregnated triggerable Republicans who are sensitive to what's going on in the national election with unfounded fears here, making fun of Kinji, saying he's in the pocket of the governor because the governor came to Homedale to thank Homedale for supporting the Ukrainian fundraiser. Their behavior is disgusting, and I hope the residents see it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Yes.
Ron, I'm a 32 Ladwood Drive. In the spirit of full transparency, this is directed towards Mr. Lucarelli and Mr. Improverduto. Can you confirm you attended the March 22nd fundraiser for Monmouth County Commissioner Sue Kiley, a part of the Monmouth County political machine, on the same night the Homedale municipal budget was being voted on? That race is not even in our district.
I was in New York City. I was not at the fundraiser.
Okay. So that's a no. That night, the budget included the new firehouse, recreation money, first aid and police facility money, arguably the most important township meeting of the year, and neither one of you were there for that. So what I wanted to know was, if you were there at the fundraiser, please explain, which you just said you're in New York, okay? If no, why weren't you here for that vote? That's question number one.
I had a work commitment.
Okay.
My boss is in from Miami. I can give you his name if you'd like.
That's fine. You can. It's not. So my second question. My second question is.
Please.
My second question
I've been
is.
tolerant already. Been tolerant. Do not sit from the audience. You had your turn. Let him speak.
My second question is, Mr. Lucarelli, can you explain why you voted twice in the past year yes on the Charter Study Commission? I'm hoping you have a more nuanced answer than I just changed my mind. Please remember, it's on tape you saying this is good for the people of Homedale. So why was it good a year ago, but not now? Thank you.
You know, it's funny because I didn't really like you when I first met you at the CELU debate. And then I actually started to like you a little bit when we would talk a little bit after meetings. And I said, maybe he's not a bad guy. But my first initial reaction with you was obviously the correct one. So start again with, I lost track. I don't know dates. You're asking me if I went to a fundraiser instead of a township committee meeting in March? I don't know. I can get back to you. I have no idea. I cannot remember. I do go to fundraisers all the time.
Part of the Monmouth County political machine fundraiser.
Yeah, I go to Republican fundraisers all the time. Okay?
That's a point.
And
That's
that's
a
where
point
they
that should
are.
be
They're
noted.
held in Monmouth County. There's no secret there. I could care
That's a-
less what you think about that.
You went to, if you did go to this.
Secondly, you asked me about
March
why.
22nd, the budget meeting.
I don't know. I don't know dates, and I don't even think this is
Ron, you could-
appropriate
you
for you to be asking me
could
this
say-
here. If you want to ask me in private, I'm more than happy to speak to you about anything. There was a meeting that I did not attend when we had a bond ordinance thing, and you could look at the emails. You want to open the emails, you can get them from Wendy, Bill, whoever you want, to see why I wasn't here. I always respond to the mayor, to the clerk, and whoever needs to be notified if I'm not going to make a meeting. So if you want to do that, you're more than happy, but I don't think I need to explain anything that I do to you, because I know that my intentions for this town, everything that I do here is good, and it's the best interest of this town, and all this BS that you guys that you want to dig up is a joke, in my opinion. But I'm more than happy to talk to you after this meeting.
Thank you. I'm more than willing to talk afterwards as well. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public in the public comment section? Seeing none, I will close public comment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Have a good night. Thank you for coming out, everybody.